This conference will now be recorded.
So when you say explain branches again, I think your question must be related to how to create a branch or the concept of branches.
Yeah, means what is the use of branches and how to create it.
Okay. Sure. So okay, I'm inside my VM. So if you see, currently we have 3 branches. Okay. So the main motive of the branch is that on master, okay, you have all the latest developed code, okay, on master branch. On QA branch, you have all the code that is ready for testing. So master has untested code. In QA, it's getting tested. So we have another branch. Normally, instead of dev, we can have prod, which has only purely tested code with no bugs. So in this branch strategy, you have 3 branches and you have to maintain these 3 branches. What do you mean by maintaining 3 branches? So maintaining 3 branches actually requires somebody who is responsible for as a branch master or branch master who actually does merges. So let me just tell you. So as yesterday I already explained to you, okay, the master developer features, or we can call it master QA production. So the master has the latest code, okay, and then any kind of development will happen, okay, by making a temporary branch on top of master, okay. So you'll create a temporary branch, or we call it local branch, okay. So you create a temporary or local branch and you work on it. So example, your future has let's say at this point of time you have nothing, so you want to deliver an alpha. To do that, initially you don't really completely push everything into master. So the master will have the basic required files, okay, and then I'm going to create a feature 1, okay. So what I will do, I will just create a branch for myself. Okay, git branch feature one. Okay, so currently git status. So I just created a feature one branch. Okay, but it will contain all of the things that my master has, because any branch will clone itself from that timestamp. So here, currently my master branch has 3 files, 1, 2, 3, and then I just created a branch. So this branch also has these 3 files because it will just clone it. Now in this branch, okay, I'm doing my development. Like that, all the 100 people can create their own 100 local branches and they will do the development. So let me add something here. Touch system secrets. Okay. I'm just actually creating a file for reference point. So if you check, I just created a file, okay, which says that some text. So now I'm going to add into this branch. So first I have to check out to my local branch, which is feature. I checked out. Now if you check ls, you have the same files. Now I'm going to add. So I'm going to add my current file. What is my current file? The current file is system file. Okay, I just added. If I check the status, it's actually tracked now. I'm going to commit. Data. I have committed. Is that clear until now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now it is committed. That means I'm actually have, if I check git status, all are committed. That means all of the files are committed. Now, but they are not actually present in my remote repository because I didn't push. So I have to make a push. So I will be pushing to what branch? Git push urgent what? Feature one. So yes. Now I have to sign up. Okay. Now new branches pushed. Okay. So interesting point is that now I have 4 here. But if you check git checkout master, you have only 3. Where is secrets here? There is no secrets. Okay. The data here is different from the data here. That is what I'm trying to tell you, what is a basic called branch difference. Okay. Now I have created it. Now I'm done with my branch. Okay, git checkout feature one. Okay, so I'm in feature one now. Now I'm done. I want to merge this. Okay, I want to hand over this code to QA people. How can I do that? By using another command called git. Okay, merge. So you can do it from command line, but you might face some issues. Okay, so you are already pushed the code to your branch. Now there is a simple UI which really helps you. So wait a second. Okay, you check, you have 4 branches now. Now I'm in my feature branch, which contains system secrets. But if you check my QA branch, I don't have that secrets file. Okay. Now, all the code, consider not just one file, all the code that is there in feature branch, okay, has to be given to QA. That means I have to compare, that means we call it pull request, but I'm not actually pulling to master, but instead I'm pulling into QA. So I'm saying I'm going to check any no issues. So I just checked nothing. I'm actually creating the merge request or pull request. Okay, now pull request has been made. I said this is the commits I actually did. All the commits, okay, will be joined into your git tracking file. So all the commits I made on my local also gets joined into your tracking file, because it's easy to trace what I did in what particular commit. Now, pull request means I said, hey, merge my code to your QA. So there would be somebody called branch master in the developer team or in DevOps team, or anybody who is responsible for all the code maintenance. He will check, okay, no problem. So not per branch, there won't be one. For all of the branches, typically they have only one merge master. So he gonna look into the code, he gonna check, he will be a senior person, and he said that, hey, merge the pull request. Yeah, it's a feature one, confirm the merge. So now that is merged. Now, since this is merged, okay, actually there is no need of this feature branch anymore, because the feature is done. Okay, I don't really need to have this feature branch. You want to check, go to class 10, go to, in master you don't have it, okay, but if you go to QA, you have system secrets. Is that clear? So this is called merge process. Now of course QA has the latest, but you're not going to make a pull request from QA. Only when the whole team from QA are done, okay, they would be able to push it forward. Now from Q, if you check git checkout QA, you're here in QA, but this is not latest code, right? You have to go here, git pull origin QA. Now the latest code will be pulled. If you check, you have system secrets after the merge. Now you don't really need, this branch called feature one, and you can delete it or clean it. Okay, now I have to create another branch, right, for production. I created another branch called production. Okay, if I get checkout, okay, unfortunately I created from my QA branch. I should not create when I'm in QA branch, but I should create it when I'm in master branch. Okay, checkout master. So I'm deleting my production branch. Okay, I deleted it. Again, I'm creating it. I git checkout now. Okay, this is a production branch. Now I have to push it. Origin prod. Good. Now if I check from UI, it should be visible. Yeah. If I go to production, I have nothing. I have the same file that exists in master. Now what I'm going to do is that I go to my QA. My code is tested and it's perfect. Now it can be deployed on QA. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a pull request saying that alpha deployment. Okay, from production to production. Now I'm creating a pull request. You see, all the trackings will get added. Okay, so if you check, just a flag, and then I'm committing it. Merge pull request and confirm the merge. Now if you check, production also has secret file. So this is the full Git branching strategy. Any doubts now? If there are no doubts, I like to move forward, but confirm me guys. If you have any doubts, we're going to discuss further. Okay. Richa, any doubts on you? Richa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm saying any doubts for you?
No, no.
No,
Good.
no. Good. Now, let's go with Jenkins. Mm, 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 mm. 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 Okay. That may get cut to that. So today what we're going to discuss we're gonna discuss something called Jenkins. Sorry, my company Jenkins is talking. So this is the second topic, Jenkins. So you just understood Linux, you just understood working with Git and both basic and advanced. Now what we're going to go, with Jenkins. So coming to Jenkins, okay. So why do you think, or anybody have heard anything about Jenkins in the past their career? Guys, Amaya, Rohit, Raghu,
Hello.
Rohit.
It's used for CI/CD.
Yeah, it is used to guys. Raghu, any experience on Jenkins? Rohit.
Oh, no. I don't know Jenkins actually.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go a bit slow with the Jenkins, okay? So we can complete it in a day as well, but normally there's not suggestible. It's too fast. So what today main focus is understanding what is called Jenkins, basic information, why Jenkins, when do you use Jenkins, and how to install and run a server. That is today's, focus. And we're gonna again work on Monday on the next continuation of Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is, as it clearly says here, it's a leading open source in an automation server segment. So when I say automation server, you might be thinking like, what are we basically automating? If you see, I just shown you Git, right? So I can automate creation of a new branch, okay, with some kind of, without any manual intervention, okay, without any manual intervention, by using Jenkins UI. If you click, then the whole commands will script, everything will run in the background, but the result, which is creation of a new thing, will be popped up. So Jenkins is where our requirement as a DevOps pops in. So automation, Jenkins, if one has to know, of course, Jenkins is exclusively used by I'm sorry guys, some vendor is really making noise here. Okay, so do dalge. Oh ya Allah. Full sound रखे आपसे guys, it's better now, right? So coming to Jenkins, the main requirement of anyone of us will pop it with Jenkins. Jenkins is basically used for mainly two segments. The first segment is continuous integration. What do you mean by continuous integration? Continuous integration is basically a requirement for automation testing. It basically means automation testing. So whenever developer actually develops a new code, if the company wants to have a very systematic and standardized development environment, then that actually relatively depend on automation of the code based test cases. So that means whatever the new code that is written by developer has to be passed with all the test scenarios that is actually developed by the testing team. So this is greatly improves code quality and also reduces the time required for project delivery. Because if you don't maintain the code quality, obviously you will end up with a lot of bugs and your delivery will be delayed. And that is a fact. So the amount of the number of test the amount of the number of test cases, if they increase, then the quality of the code would obviously become very stable, which actually is deliverable. That's why code quality and continuous integration really plays a big role in project deliveries. So Jenkins helps to achieve or to maintain such kind of code quality with its automation abilities. So Jenkins work with a lot of test suites. So there are so many test suites which are for testing testing frameworks, or we call it testing tools in India. There are so many, but every testing tool has ability to adapt itself with a extension called plugin with the Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is the main server which has to run all these test cases. So that is what I mean by continuous integration. So whenever this code is actually pushed to any repo, let's say QA, new code is pushed, then on that push, Jenkins will invoke the testing. So you don't even need to even click anything here. Jenkins will automatically test it. Once if there is any errors, Jenkins will even report them to your email. So it's the best automation you can have, because a developer can work independently of testing team, and whatever the code he written, he will get a report once he pushes the code to main remote repository. So imagine this, remember this, all the testings will happen only on remote repositories, not on your local Git repositories. Okay, so you have to push to create Jenkins ticket. Now good, you have pushed new code to your Git repository, and Jenkins has able to pick it up. Now, when the Jenkins took the code, it has tested, it created a report. But if the code testing is successful, Jenkins can actually merge the code to production. Jenkins can again retest all the sanity testing, automation, sanity testing automation test scripts. So Jenkins can test using these test scripts. Jenkins again can test the whole code base in production branch as well post the deployment. So Jenkins can even deploy. So there is no requirement of any human intervention. So there will be only three different departments. The first department are developers. The second departments are test case developers or the QA team. So once we have the pipelines set, we don't really need any human intervention with Jenkins. So that's why it is really popular, and it's called as continuous integration and continuous deployment server. I hope you understand what I'm actually we discussed. Any questions on that? You need to shoot now, because the understanding of ability of Jenkins is really crucial going forward. Any questions on that, guys? Okay, so since there is no response, I consider that as yes, there are no questions. We understood. Okay, so then you got it that Jenkins is really required. Jenkins can automate, and that's all about it. Now, what we're gonna do, the first and foremost, is we're gonna make our hands dirty. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to create a Jenkins server from scratch, but on my local machine. Okay, so if I want to do that, how I have to go In a DevOps perspective or in a system administration perspective, I have to go to documentation of Jenkins. So let's go to the documentation of Jenkins. So I went into documentation of Jenkins, and there are a lot of tutorials, handbooks, and resources. So what do you want to work with? I want to work with installation of Jenkins handbook. So I'm using handbook. I went to the installation. Here in the installation, it actually has a prerequisite, and the prerequisite says that, hey, if you are working, if you want to work with Jenkins, you need to have at least 256 MB of RAM or at least 1 GB of drive space. Okay, and we suggest more than a GB of RAM and 50 GB of drive space. This is the prerequisite hardware requirement. Currently, my local environment has enough, at least 10 gigabyte of free disk space. I have at least 4 GB of RAM, so it's particularly suits. Now, installation platform, you can either use Docker, okay, and you can use directly on a Mac. But I don't want to use on Mac because you don't use Mac for the Jenkins service. You never use them. I can use Docker, but again, that's a lateral concept. We can test it out. I can leave that exercise for you to practice. But we can directly use Java on a Ubuntu system. So you can see that there are a lot more methods. You can install in Docker, you can install the macOS on Linux. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install on Ubuntu. So this is our I need to actually download the required packages to install Jenkins. So you have to understand that the long-term support of a Jenkins is actually chosen for every 12 weeks. So you need to know what kind of Jenkins software you're using. So Jenkins also has something called nightly, Jenkins has weekly, Jenkins has LTS. So you better use Jenkins LTS for long-term support because it is actually better because it's a stable product. Now I have already, the system is really hard. Why? I don't know. If you excuse me, guys. Good. Okay, I'm actually creating a vanilla node. Sorry guys, suddenly my system got crashed, unfortunately. So it took time for me to get back. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay, let's continue. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, it takes a bit of more time, so let's catch up tomorrow then. Okay. I think because it takes another 10 minutes because the container is, I mean, the virtual machine is crashed again. So let's catch up tomorrow. But today, what we discussed in short, we discussed about Git strategies again. We discussed about complete Git flow. We discussed about continuous integration and continuous deployment for server utilization. Why these servers are really required, how this particular flow will work, and that is the main application and deployment server. We discussed a bit on creation of Jenkins, but tomorrow we're gonna install Jenkins and work further. That's all for today. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.